So Michigan ends the streak, and they did it on field goals, kicking 4 field goals to win 12-10 and winning on a game-winning field goal by Brendan Gibbons. As hot as the Tigers were entering the World Series, they were just as cold during it, with the San Francisco Giants sweeping away championship dreams. A bitter end to an otherwise special season. Going just 3 for 33 at the plate entering Game 4, Austin Jackson was moved from the leadoff spot to the number 8 spot, and it paid off, going 2 for 2 at the plate with 2 RBIs. Duke, Michigan State, Coach K, Tom Izzo. That's about all that needs to be said to get you excited for tonight's big-time game, but it won't be decided by past tournament success, rather the talent that's on the floor. And Coach Izzo knows the Blue Devils are loaded. For the second time this series, the Tigers fell victim to the bat of Nelson Cruz in the 11th. And for the third time this series, the Tigers lost a game that some may argue they should have won. Michigan fans have been waiting 20 years for this, and now the wait is down to 1 day. The Wolverines will play in the Final Four for the first time since 1993 tomorrow. As for the atmosphere inside the locker room after the game, it was unlike any other, including a dance party that featured music stars Kid Rock, Rev Run, and Bob Seger. When Mike Ilitch and Dave Dombrowski put the pieces in place for the Tigers lineup, this is pretty much probably what they envisioned. The Tigers' impressive lineup has lived up to expectations thus far. They may not have been picked to get here when the season began, but with one more win in the inaugural Big Ten championship game, Michigan State will have secured a second straight Big Ten championship and a berth in the Rose Bowl. Each looking to win a regional championship and move on to the national tournament in South Carolina. A bit overshadowed in the win was another outstanding performance from the starting pitcher, Doug Fister, going 6 complete innings, allowing just 1 run. The Tigers will look for another outstanding performance from their starter in Game 5 with Anibal Sanchez on the mound. Of course, the Lions would not have even had a chance in this one if it wasn't for Kelvin Johnson and his video game-like numbers. Megatron putting up 329 receiving yards, just 7 yards off the NFL record. So the Giants end 2012 celebrating in Detroit as world champions once again, while the Tigers are left wondering what could have been. From Game 4 of the World Series at Comerica Park, Evan Beach for Sports Extra. The win over rival Michigan State gives Michigan their 900th win, the most in college football history, and more importantly, puts them in the driver's seat in the Legends Division. From the Big House, Evan Beach, Sports Extra. Yeah, that's right. Tom Izzo said it. He is a great guy, and it's a great thing he's doing and has been doing for the community of Saginaw. It was a fun way to kick off his charity week tonight. But for now, live from the Horizon Center, Evan Beach, WNEM TV5.
Great story, Evan. Thanks so much for sharing.
Golden State's on the clock with a 36 pick. Some people think he might go there, so it might be happening coming up. But right now, I'm standing by with his college teammate, Anthony Ianni. And Anthony, this has got to be an exciting night for you as well.
It really is. I mean, when Day asked me to come out here, I was really honored and to have the privilege to come out and support Day. And it's just a once-in-a-lifetime deal that we all get to be a part of, and I'm really thankful to be here tonight.
I know most prognosticators thought he would go late first round or early second. Are you surprised a little bit that he's fallen a little bit, especially some of these guys you played against? Probably you wouldn't think. Well, here he comes right now. Here, Jim, why don't you pay it over? Here he comes right now. Apparently, he's received that phone call. He's going to the Golden State Warriors with the 36th pick. Definitely an exciting time right here. As you can see, the big smile on his face. He gets a round of applause from all his friends and family, getting some hugs. Definitely an exciting time here for Draymond. Of course, we're going to get to talk to him here in a little bit, but for now, live from the Dow Event Center at Draymond Green's draft party, Evan Beach, Fox 66. Embrace the change, embrace the challenge, and embrace creating a championship culture. That's the motto of the Central Michigan women's basketball team. And while they're doing that in the game of basketball, they're helping another young girl do the same in the game of life.
That little kid is going through changes and challenges every day, and that's what we do. And so you have to roll with the punches, if you will.
No punch could have felt greater than when Kurt and Andrea Johns were told that their 5-year-old daughter, Katie, had been diagnosed with brain cancer.
They actually got the phone call while we were driving, so that made it extremely hard to get that type of news. I mean, how do you react when your kid's right behind you?
Katie was diagnosed with pilocytic astrocytoma last July, and since there's been an outpouring of community support.
People reaching out to us to help us, and to have a community around you like that is just amazing.
One of those people was CMU women's basketball senior Jessica Schroll, a Midland native who, when hearing about Katie, invited her to be an honorary member of the Chippewas.
It's something great that she gets to look forward to every day, and it keeps her chin up.
Something that can be tough when going through cancer treatment, but despite it all, Katie always seems to have an upbeat attitude.
Her demeanor is just amazing to me, just all the stuff that she goes through, and the next day, like last night, we came home from chemo, she was sick, she got up this morning, she's fine. You all right? Yep, I'm good. You ready to go to the game? Yep. It's great to see her like how motivated she is to want to come here, be with the team, and be part of everything that they've involved her in.
And Katie really is involved, often imitating players when she dribbles around the court or drawing up plays like Coach G.
We're obviously a big part of her life, and she wants to be like us when she gets older. She told me the other day she was going to be on my team.
For now, she's the inspiration behind the team.
Every day, seeing that little girl, just knowing how hard she fights, she's an inspiration to us all.
And that inspiration led CMU to its best league start in a quarter century, as the Chippewas haven't lost a game that Katie has been to.
It's a great good luck charm, isn't it? It's awesome. I know I didn't notice that until someone had brought that up to us, that every game that they're winning is the one that she's been to. And I think that's them wanting to fight as hard as she fights, and vice versa. She wants to be here just as much as they want her here.
Katie has just been a lot of fun for us to be around, and we just know we're going to help her as she fights this cancer, and she's going to be with us as we pursue this championship. And you know what? Together, we're just going to help each other.
Wearing pink jerseys with Katie's name on the back of them yesterday, the Chippewas won again for her. CMU dominated Buffalo 86-51 to move to 8-2 in the MAC, their best conference start since the 1987-88 season. Hockey is a game of sounds. But in between the whistles, horns, and checks, the most important sounds come through the communication between coaches and teammates.
One of the major details in the game, everybody needs to be talking out on the ice. Shoot it, Addy, shoot it!
But for Saginaw Spear forward Greg Such, the communication isn't often heard.
Especially with my own line mates, I tell them if they're gonna try to call up a pass, I'm most likely not gonna clear them. How many we got? 7. Huh?
The same is true of instructions yelled from a coach or even an official's whistle. Greg plays the game at such a high level despite suffering from severe hearing impairment, relying on a hearing aid.
Heard about the hearing issue, obviously, and kind of wondered, all right, so how did he get this far?
Those same questions have followed Greg from the time he started playing hockey.
There's been a few people who would be like, oh, you're not gonna be able to play hockey, you're hearing impaired, it won't work out for you. But that was only good for me, because I always wanted to prove people wrong.
Playing in the Ontario Hockey League and being drafted by the Buffalo Sabres, Greg has turned questions about what he can't do into belief in what he can do.
Seeing him and how well he could still see the ice with the hearing impairment was pretty amazing to see.
He's got a great awareness of what's going on around him, time of the game situations, obviously. But he's put a lot of work, obviously, throughout his whole childhood and upbringing.
That's not to say there haven't been times when Greg has faced adversity with his hearing impairment, maybe none more difficult than in a 2010 OHL playoff game.
We were in overtime, and our coach called me to go out, and then he made a last second change, sending someone else out, and I didn't know that was happening, so I went out at the same time as my teammate went out. Both got caught out on the ice, and too many men. Unfortunately, it was in overtime, and they buried on that power play. Such a disheartening moment could have been an excuse to give in to the limitations of his hearing impairment, but instead, Greg once again showed his resiliency. We went on to win the series in Game 7 in Ottawa in the third period and had the go-ahead goal, so that made me feel a lot better about the whole situation to make up for what happened in the game before. It was a microcosm of Greg's career, one that he will not allow to be defined by a disability. It's my dream, and I'm not going to let anybody take that away from me, whether I have a disability or not. I'm pretty stubborn that way. I know what I want, and I'm going to focus on that. And I'm not going to let anybody get in the way of that.
For Sports Extra, I'm Evan Beach.
Now, with coverage you can count on, you're watching Sports Extra.
I know it's a good offensive team. We're leading the league in hitting. It's just a bad timing in terms of going into a slump because you get good pitching and we're slumping, and at the same time, it's just not a mix.
The Detroit Tigers offense has struggled mightily lately, especially in their most recent 4-game series in New York, in which the Tigers lost 3 of the 4 and scored a total of just 2 runs in the 3 losses. The Tigers offense still ranks among the top teams in the majors in a number of categories, but have been slumping since coming out of the All-Star break. The Tigers hoping to break out of that slump as they open a 3-game series in Toronto with the Blue Jays. Bottom of the first, though, the Blue Jays get on the board. Danny Valencia with an RBI single. Toronto then with a big second inning. Ryan Goins with a man on third, lays down the bunt, beats out the throw as Anibal Sanchez bobbles it. A run scores. Then Melky Cabrera with 2 on, hits 1 through into left. That brings in Goins. And then it's Bautista with the RBI single to right center, scoring Jose Reyes as the Blue Jays open up a 4-0 lead. Top of the third, though, the Tigers get 2 back. Ian Kinsler lining into center. That brings in Eugenio Suarez and Rajai Davis to cut the lead in half at 4-2. Bottom of the 5th, though, bad news for the Tigers. Sanchez would have to leave the game with a right pectoral strain. To the top of the 9th, still a 4-2 Toronto lead, but Nick Castellanos with a man on hits the 2-run home run to left, and that ties the game at 4. Very next batter, very next pitch. Suarez straight away to center, the solo home run to give the Tigers the lead. Joe Nathan would get in trouble in the bottom of the 9th with the bases loaded, but Rajai Davis, the former Blue Jay, comes sliding into the rescue with the sliding catch to end the game. The Tigers win 5-4. In the Midwest League, the Loons score 3 in the 9th to break the tie and beat the Silverhawks in South Bend 5-2. The Bay City Red Pony League team playing in the Pony League World Series for the 5th time in the last 6 years against Johnstown in Pennsylvania tonight, and they pick up just their 2nd win during that span with the 4-2 win. Logan LaCourse with 15 strikeouts to lead the team to the win. Their next game will be Monday at 5:30. The first week of fall camp is already nearly complete. The Michigan State Spartans entered camp with eyes focused on a defense that has been elite the last 3 years, but replaces 6 starters from last season. According to the coaches, many concerns have been erased through the first week as the team has went from shorts and shirts to full pads. Many of the freshmen and returning players impressing so far. And on the offensive side of the ball, the situation is much better than where it was this time a year ago.
You can see leadership, and we're playing fast. Our offense is ahead of where they were last year. So you have to, as a head coach, you have to sit there and try and sift through it all and say, okay, where are we? Because I think we're much farther ahead offensively than we were last year. Our receivers are catching the ball, identity at tight end, identity at tailback.
The Spartans will begin to see some of that live action tomorrow as they have their first team scrimmage of camp. The Wolverines will also be getting some scrimmages underway in the near future, including one in which the public will be invited to. The team will host a scrimmage under the lights at 8 p.m. next Saturday, August 16th at Michigan Stadium, open to the public and with free admission, giving fans an early look at the team before the season opener on August 30th against Appalachian State. It will also give the team a chance to play in front of a crowd before the season.
They want to play in front of people, so let's have them play in front of people. And I think with the mindset that they can have and how we'll go in. A little bit is also, for night game purposes. You want to at least be in the stadium a little bit before then.
Michigan also introducing a new alternate uniform they'll wear against Penn State this season. Definitely mixed results on that one right now.
Oh, I can't wait to see it.
It's got some stripes on it. I don't know.
My. Huge win for the Tigers.
Huge win. Big one. His passion for the game is why Bay City Western's Matt Costello is one of the best high school basketball players in the nation. As you could expect, his twin brother John shares the same kind of passion, just in a very different area.
Typical twins, I don't really know if there's ever a typical twin because every set is different.
Although they're twin brothers, Matt and John Costello are individually unique in more than just appearance alone.
The two old men.
Yeah, exactly. They bicker back and forth. They never let each other have a spare moment if they step out of line.
That competitive streak often drives one to try and outshine the other.
We both are extremely competitive, but we do it in 2 different ways.
John just wants to do things well, right? And Matt wants to do things well and win, right?
They always chose to do different things and to enjoy different things.
Matt's passion is for basketball. At 6'10", he is one of the top high school players in the nation, averaging nearly 25 points, 20 rebounds, 4 blocks, and 4 assists for Bay City Western, and is a favorite to win Michigan's Mr. Basketball Award. John's passion is in music.
By the time he was an 8th grader, he was playing college freshman and sophomore music. He just puts himself into it and is a great musician.
The grandchildren of 40-year Corunna band director Lyle Brooks, music wasn't really an option for the Costello kids growing up.
Did I even ask you if they could start?
Yeah.
I did?
You asked, but it wasn't a choice.
Okay.
While Matt eventually gave up music to focus on basketball, John, an all-state lineman in football, made the difficult decision to put down the pigskin and pursue his dream as a musician.
He called me up 2 weeks before football got started and said, I need shoes and I need gloves. And so I got him all prepared. Everything was sitting on his bed. We got a phone call the Friday before and said, what do you think? Can I not go to football? And I'm like, no, your shoes are on your bed. I've already taken care of it.
When he chose music, it kind of hurt me because I saw the opportunity that he could have had playing sports.
He made a grown-up decision to pursue something he was passionate about that he will have in his life forever.
I don't think he would have played basketball if Matt wasn't there.
No, he wouldn't have.
He had other things to do,
Yep.
to go get ready for college, but he has said multiple times, I played basketball to play with Matt.
Yep.
And just in the last 2 months, Matt said, you know what, I think I'll join band again, and I can be in band to be with John. So the two bickering old men do end up like being with each other.
Matt, of course, is headed to Michigan State next year to play for Tom Izzo and the Spartans. John is hoping to play for someone as well, currently in the midst of trying out at various colleges throughout the state to earn a scholarship in music. Baseball is like golf, only in that you try to hit a ball with a long stick. But as some Loons players found out, it's a game that is much more difficult than it seems.
One of our guys out here in the fairway snapped somebody's club, so.
Me. Never in my life played golf. So it's my first time.
Was it your club that he broke?
Yeah.
No hard feelings on that?
No, heck no, anybody can do that.
One other similarity between baseball and golf is it's a game where you must have confidence, something many of the Loons, especially the pitchers, did not lack.
I'm gonna say I'm probably one of the best. Probably one of the best.
Best on the team, or?
Yeah, best talkers.
Best on.
Yeah, I can talk a mad game.
Who's the guy you're gonna beat?
I am the golfer of the Loons.
All right.
The golfer of the Loons. Zach Lee thinks he's got something on me.
Pete seems to think that he's the best golfer on the team. What do you think about that?
Pete Buckethead?
Yeah.
We'll have to play for it. I haven't seen him play a whole lot. I saw him on the range a little bit, but I don't know. If I'm playing a lot, I definitely think I can make a run for it.
I'll take his 5.2 signing bonus.
Take it and win it. Steal it all from him. Pete Buckethead is probably the best. I played with him a couple times. He pretty much kills me every time.
He said he's the best.
Yeah, I'm sure he did. I'm sure he did.
I'll pair up with anybody else, take on 2 other Loons. Guarantee you I'd take their money.
You've been seeing him play. How is he?
He's not too bad for a baseball player.
But according to some Loons players, it isn't how you play, it's how you look.
You look good, you golf decent.
Yeah, you're golfing just fine.
Well, I guess somebody needs to tell Red Patterson that theory.
What kind of gloves are those?
Those are Rollins baseball gloves, Gold Glove Award. It's whatever.
Here's the question, Red. Does it really matter how you golf?
No, absolutely not.
Why not?
Because, I'm not trying to be the best at golf.
What are you trying to be best at?
Baseball.
With the Loons at Apple Mountain, I'm Evan Beach for Sports Extra.